Whether it's losing a loved one, being stuck in a traffic jam, or worrying about paying bills, the feeling of being stressed is something most of us will be familiar with. Even though a little bit of stress can be good for motivation, such as being pumped up to run fast in a race, too much stress can eventually affect our health and well-being. One condition that stress is linked to is bowel disease. Bowel disease is a group of conditions that cause inflammation within the gut system. It's estimated that around 620,000 people could be suffering from bowel disease in the UK, and it's common in both men and women. Symptoms include pain, swelling or cramping in the stomach, reoccurring diarrhoea, and unexplained weight loss. Although the exact cause of bowel disease is not known, it's thought that a person's genetics and environmental factors such as stress play key roles in the development of the condition. Did you know we have two brains? Yeah, two brains. We have one in our head and one in our gut. The two brains communicate using a pathway in nerves called the gut-brain axis. Think of this as a biological telephone line that the two brains use to talk to each other over. Excessive psychological stress is shown to cause disruptions in this connection. And when this happens, important functions such as the immune system can start to be affected, ultimately leading to the onset of bowel disease. Okay, I know what you're thinking. If most people experience stress in their life, why do some people suffer from bowel disease while others don't? Two professors called Lazarus and Faltman had an idea to explain this. They believe that everyone interprets and reacts to stressful events differently. According to the idea, when a potential stressful event occurs, maybe dealing with an angry boss or experiencing a bad breakup, the primary thing a person will do will assess if it's potentially harmful, threatening or challenging to their well-being or goals. If the stressor isn't a threat, or if it actually seems quite positive, it won't be viewed as stressful. But if the event does pose a threat to their well-being or goals, they will become stressed. Whether a person will view this situation as stressful or not will depend on their individual environment, their resources, and their personal characteristics, such as their age, beliefs, or personality traits. For example, someone who is very hostile may be more likely to perceive a traffic jam as more stressful than someone who is more laid back and non-hostile. Once a situation has been appraised as stressful, the second thing a person will do is try to figure out if they believe they've got the ability to cope with the situation or not. For this, they may use a number of coping strategies, which we'll come back to shortly. If the person believes they do have the resources to cope with the demands of the situation, the feeling of stress will go away. However, if the person believes they don't have the resources to cope with the situation, they will continue to feel stressed out, which, as we know, will make them more prone to developing stress-related conditions such as bowel disease. There are two main types of coping strategies: emotion-focused and problem-focused. Problem-focused methods are used when people feel they've got control over the situation and that they can fix the problem by making plans and taking action. Emotion-focused methods, however, they tend to be used when people don't feel like they've got control. Because they feel they don't have control, they choose to manage their internal feelings of stress by focusing on managing their emotions instead. This could include distancing themselves or avoiding the problem, wishful thinking, or stress reduction techniques like smoking, drinking, or using drugs. At any point throughout the course of the stressful event, a person may reappraise their current situation and consider whether the event is less or more stressful than they first thought, and whether or not their coping strategy is working or needs to be changed. Some coping strategies have shown to be either ineffective or increase the chances of developing bowel disease. People who develop the disease usually choose emotional-focused, passive coping strategies. Not only is this ineffective, but it's also shown to further the feelings of stress and worsen the condition. Also, smokers are not only twice as likely to suffer from the condition, but are also more likely to experience more frequent and intense symptoms. The good news, however, is that there is positive coping strategies, such as having good social support. Not only does support help to reduce the risk of developing bowel disease, it also helps people to adapt better, both physically and mentally, if diagnosed with a condition. As stress plays a major part in the onset of bowel disease, whether you want to protect yourself from developing the condition, or whether you're experiencing symptoms, or even if you've been clinically diagnosed with a condition, recognising and effectively managing the stress in your life is a key part to optimising your gut health and well-being.